Hi guys, this is Ms.Hong. Today is May 7th, Thursday. It's already Thursday, wow. Alright guys, so yesterday you took a quiz. I didn't check your answers yet, but I will do it tomorrow, like during daytime. So if you average is kind of like high, around like 80s I think, then I'm gonna put that as test so that could help you your benchmark grade. So most of you got like kind of bad grade on the benchmark, so I'm gonna give you something good test so that could balance up. So let's see, I didn't grade it yet, so when I grade it I will let you know, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna put the grades into the Genesis, but I will make it like to help you. All right. Okay. So look at this, guys. So today we start a new chapter. So you will learn sequences, and after that we will jump into the exponential function. Okay. So first, today we will do geometric sequence and its common ratio. So identifying geometric sequence and its common ratio. So this is our lesson goal today. And before we start it, let's look at this one, guys. So sequence. So what is sequence, right? In mathematics, a sequence is an ordered list of numbers called terms. The terms of a sequence are often arranged in a pattern. So you will see a pattern. So here's an example. So you have any like patterned list of numbers, then we can say that's a sequence. All right. So let's look at this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Do you see the pattern here? What's going on here? Can you guess next three terms after 10? Right? So we can think about those things. So 2 to 4. 4 to 6, the same pattern. So what? It's like plus 2, right? When you add 2, then you can get the next term. So your next three term will be 12, 14, 16, and you can keep going this, right? So we have this kind of sequence, and then what about this? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So there's a pattern, but it's not like adding 2. This is what? 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32. Then do you see the pattern? It's like multiplied by 2, right? So your pattern is multiplied by 2. So if you're looking for the next three terms of that, then will be 64, 128, 256, like those numbers. Okay, so we call those are the patterns. So you will see some we call these are the sequences, and the thing is you have some pattern. All right, and let's look at this one. 5. I'm gonna write it here. Wait. So let's look at this. 5, 2, 5, 2, -1, -4, -7, right? So you have those numbers. Do you see the pattern here? How can you get 2 from 5? How can you get -1 from 2? How can you get -4 from -1? So the pattern is, did you get it? -3, right? So you keep subtracting 3, then you will see this kind of pattern. So my next three terms will be -7 minus 3, -10, -10 minus 3, -13, -16, right? So these are the sequence, and the pattern is -3. And look at this. 3, -9, 27, -81. Do you see the sign changing from positive to negative? Negative to positive. So it's the sign is alternating, positive, negative, right? So this case, you're multiplying it by negative number, right? And think about it, 3 to 9, what do? Multiply it by 3. Negative 9 to positive 27, you multiply by negative 3, then negative 9 times by negative 3, then you get positive 27, right? So you keep doing this. So this is also a sequence, and your pattern is negative 3, right? And the next number will be it's big number, so I'm not gonna find the 3 terms for this. You can use your calculator. All right, so we did those things, and then let's look at this one, guys. So like overall, if you have any pattern list of number that has pattern, then we say that's the sequence, right? And in the sequence, there's like some special sequence. All right, special sequence, that is, look, first, arithmetic sequence. So that is a sequence whose successive terms differ by the same number, D, called the common difference. So what? This is if the pattern's like plus or minus. So in this example, which one has plus or minus, guys? Plus or minus? This one, right? So I'm going to copy here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This one. So it's what? Keep adding 2 plus 2, right? This is my pattern. And then what else? That was times by 2. This is times by negative 3. So this one, that was minus 3, right? So 5, 2, negative 1, negative 4, negative 7. This sequence, that is what? Your pattern is minus 3, right? So your pattern is plus a number or minus a number, then we call that arithmetic sequence. So, and look, that was your pattern. We call this is what? That is your D. We call that D because that's common difference. Common difference. So what? Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. That is your pattern. So that's common to term by term. So we call this as what? Common difference. And we normally, if I ask you what is your D, then you say the pattern, plus positive 2 or negative 3, like this. Okay, so that was arithmetic sequence. And the second one, so what was our title? Geometric sequence and its common ratio. So this is the main thing. Okay, this is the main thing. So let's look at this. Then what's geometric sequence? That is a sequence in which the ratio, you see that? Which the ratio of successive terms is the same number. So you have the same ratio. So we use R for that, and we call that common ratio. All right, common ratio. So let's look at these examples. Which one has multiplication or division? Multiplication or division. So that's your ratio. Then that was this 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Those numbers, right? Then what? You multiply by 2. You multiply by 2. You multiply by 2, right? So in this case, we do multiplied by 2, right? That is my common ratio. And what else? Here. That was multiplied by negative 3, right? So I'm going to copy the sequence over here. 3, negative 9, positive 27, negative 81, positive 243. So this is multiplied by negative 3, right? Multiplied by negative 3. So this one. Or, you know what? If you multiply by a fraction times by 1 over 2, that's same as divided by 2, right? It's the same thing. Multiply by 1 over 2, that is equal to divided by 2. So division or multiplication. So if you see division or multiplication as a pattern, then that's the geometric sequence. And the pattern number will be your common ratio. Okay? So let's look at the problems. So guided practice. A sequence is described. So you have 6 different sequences. And A, determine if they are geometric, arithmetic, or neither. So look, multiplication or division, that's geometric, right? If your pattern is multiplication or division, then we call that's the geometric sequence. Or if your pattern is addition or subtraction, so plus or minus, then we call that's arithmetic sequence. If nothing, you just have like numbers, but you cannot find the pattern, or it has pattern but we cannot tell that's multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction, then in that case we say neither. All right, so let's look at the question. So you have 2 different questions, so you need to determine the sequence by name, and then if the sequence is geometric, then what? You identify the common ratio. All right, so let's take a look. Number 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What is your pattern, guys? To get 10 and 10 to 15. So the pattern's supposed to be the same. So 5 to 10, then you're adding 5, right? 10 to 5, then you add 5. 15 to 20, you add 5, right? So this is plus 5 to get the next term. So plus, so that's what? Arithmetic sequence. And we don't have to do B because that's not geometric, right? And let's look at number 2. So I got 64 and 32, and then 16, 8, 4. So what's the pattern? It's getting half, right? So divided by 2, or so you can say divided by 2 or times by 1 over 2. So when you say the common ratio, if the question asks you what is the common ratio, then you can say divided by 2. I want you to say 1 over 2. All right? So if you get the pattern, that's dividing by some number, then convert it to the multiplication, and that number will be your common ratio. So we are not using this one. That's the pattern. You can say that, but divided by 2, you can make it multiplied by reciprocal. So flip it, 1 over 2. So it's the same thing. So we are using that one for the common ratio. Okay? So this is geometric because you keep multiplying 1 over 2, right? So geometric sequence and common ratio R equals 1 over 2. Okay, so this is answer for A, this is answer for B. That's answer for A, and B we don't have to do it. And look at number 3. 10, 30, 90, 27, 81. So this is, think about it, 10 to 30. You multiply by 3. 30 to 90. You multiply by 3, right? So you keep multiplying it by 3. So this is what? Multiplication, geometric sequence. So number 3 is geometric sequence. And my common ratio, R equals 3. Okay? And that's number 2. And this is for number 3. A and B. Okay? A and B. And number 4, hold on guys, I'm gonna cut this video and I'll be back. I have only 3 questions left, so second video will be really short. Okay.